What is up? It's X Priest. We are here again for another show. What up, fellas?
Yo, this is Soul Acoustic, and we are in the building. What's happening?
Yo, this is Broke, and I'm in the building metaphorically, but yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was like, so you're not in what building? You're not in this building.
I'm in the building.
Oh, you in it?
He's in your radio.
I'm in the building.
Oh, he mean the building. Anyway,
capital H.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, what's been going on, fellas, for the week in gaming and in our lives? What's been happening?
Let's see. Well, I quit my job.
You did?
Whoa!
Wait. Soul, do you?
All right,
need
you win show and tell this week.
Do you need a consultant? Yeah, a life coach? Like, what's going on, man?
No, I just quit to focus on doing music. So
that's great, man.
That's what we're gonna be doing.
Nice.
That's my 9 to 9.
9 to 9. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it turns into. Whenever you're working from home, it's whenever you're awake as you're working.
Yeah.
That is very true. Very, very true.
Yeah. So
what about you guys?
Well, hold on. Don't just roll over that, man. I think it's really cool that you're like straight up following your dreams. Like people need to understand that you've been after this music thing for a pretty long time. And I think it's really cool that you're taking another shot at it.
Yeah, I think it's just time to put all the horses in, do a gamble on myself. So.
All right. Well,
nobody else can do it for me.
What was it? We'll be gambling on you as well, too, man.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to kick him off the show. He don't got no job.
Yeah, he can't pay for the stuff that he pays for. Yeah.
I don't pay for anything.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
It's really cool that you're doing that. I think that you should definitely throw up some more links on the social media that we have for Facebook, especially here in Sacramento, and any other stuff that you're doing. Just like I did on the Ether Game Radio show, where it was just me. Let's make sure that you get heard out there, so that people know where to find you now that you're out there and more active with your music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Like, what about this voice thing that I've been hearing about?
Well, can't really talk about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Broke's gonna get thrown off the show already.
Yeah. Can't talk about anything.
But,
all I can say is I auditioned.
Okay. No spoilers.
Exactly. But what we will do is I'm going to drop a snippet of Soul's EP that he's working on in here for a second, and let you guys check it out.
Absent, you're right here. So why are you so far? Whoa, damage to my heart. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So, but also, so okay, let's move on. Broke, what you been doing?
Same old, man. I'm just, focusing on the grind, trying to stay fit. I got family coming over from the East Coast, so I'm going to be tourist broke and tour guide broke all day.
Oh, that's nice. Showing
for the rest of the week.
California love.
Yeah, I mean, they have some pretty good ideas about what they want to do, and most of it involves food, which, I'm pretty good at. So
yep.
I'm sure I'll get something together for them.
Nice. Okay, one more thing. So do you have any shows coming up?
No, I don't have any at the moment. I'm just going to be hitting the open mic circuit here this week. So
okay.
It might be in your local neighborhood. Who knows?
All right. So check them out if you see Soul Acoustic.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. And me, man, I've just been gathering equipment for the show and just trying to get everything right and sounding good and all that stuff, whatever. Because we're forever changing and just trying to get the best audio and the best quality for you guys out there and stuff like that. So new bumpers will be coming soon. I got to get my mojo working. Broke got to get back on it, and we got to get actually Soul to do some studio work, whatever. Go ahead and throw a bumper or two while he's in the studio.
Well, I have a lot of free time now, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, you're about to become a bumper factory, my friend.
Nice, nice. Cool. Okay, well, you know what? We can, let's go ahead and play our social media, then we'll get into it.
Yo, it's Broke Gamer. Make sure to check us out on social media. It's Ether Gamer Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Give us a like, follow, and don't forget to say hi. We'll always try to get back to you. Peace.
All right, fellas. So, what you been playing? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first just because mine's pretty simple. I just been playing Anthem. Been playing Anthem, having a good time with it. I haven't been playing too much of it because I was waiting for the patch and everything. I finally got my first masterwork, and then I've got like a few more after that, which is pretty cool. One thing I didn't know there was like masterworks for your component slots, so that's pretty tight. I love that.
You got to have those because those what really boosts your score. Because once you hit level 30, you can have up to 6 components.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that was my very first masterwork. Actually, was a component slot, and then I ended up getting a few weapons. And then I got a masterwork flamethrower for my Colossus.
Nice.
That's pretty much all I run is my Colossus. So I just want to get him all the way built, and then I'm going to work on my Ranger, and then from there, probably the Storm or something. So that's pretty much all I've been playing this week, I think. Yeah, that's it. So.
As for me, more of the same. I've been playing Anthem as well, too. I've been pretty busy with work. It seems like just when I'm going to get a break, things get busy again. Somebody takes some time off, so that means extra work for the other workers, or we just have a really big order that we have to take care of. Like this last Friday, the rest of the crew took care of like a 700 box purge. That's where, think about those boxes that you see whenever you go to like you're getting fired from work and they give you a box inside of a TV show, and it's just
like
that little box with all your stuff in
box.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so think of 700 of those stacked on pallets, moved out from one location to another to be destroyed.
Dang.
So we've been getting work like that, which is great for the company, but it just means I don't have a whole lot of extra time. So with the time that I did get in, I got to play a little bit by myself. Still working through all of the regular contracts, and finally started getting my legendary quests for it. So I'll be able to get some components, which I've been sorely lacking for a while now. And then we played a little bit yesterday after the patch went live, and that was pretty cool because we have some pretty good team synergy with what we're doing. You know, it's Priest is just doing mad damage with his Storm whenever he's playing that. I am designated shield popper. I have the skills to pop the shield, and then and then Soul Acoustic will show up with his Colossus and just wreck anybody that's on the ground or make sure that we get back up again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a pretty good team. I mean, we haven't really found a good fourth yet, but the three of us are getting it done right.
Oh yeah. It was freaking awesome. And also, you know, with the components, there's also legendary components, because as you go up, you know, in score, you become, you know, epic, you become, you know, masterwork and all that stuff as you the higher your score goes up. But there was a lot of changes. I mean, some for the better, a lot others people don't like now. The Titans are a little bit easier to take down. People were complaining about that, so I had to go ahead and tweet out, you know, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, because everybody, you know, 1 minute is too hard, next minute is too easy. You know, it's like, man, let them do their thing, and that's what kind of pissed me off about the whole situation. I just want their vision to be full, you know, totally realized, and then start, you know, they can start cutting stuff back to where they think they need to be, because it's just like, you know, everybody's complaining now that the Titans are too easy. So, and I'm talking once I'm talking about the name Titans also, because they're, you know, now they're easier to take down. Their hands are always exposed to where you can do damage. Before they weren't. They did a certain move to where they kneel down, hit the ground, and then their arms were exposed. And then there's another part to where they open up their chest to fire a beam, and then that was exposed. So now, for the most part, those are always exposed. So it's kind of easier to burn, you know, the Titan down. And plus the ultimates are, you know, they do more damage. And overall, everything does more damage. The firearms. Yeah,
it seems like there's a lot more damage happening, but I
you know
think that.
My thing though is the Colossus Ultimate doesn't really do that much damage. It like, well, I feel like, although I don't know if this is the case because like I said, I've only been running the Colossus, but I don't know if every Ultimate is meant to do something different, right? So like for instance, the Colossus Ultimate would just be to like take out grunts and like take out the like basically the ads essentially, and like and still do damage to the elites, but more like take out the ads. Whereas like the Storm is to like put the elemental damage, create combos, so on and so forth. So I don't know, but that's just my 2 cents. Sorry, bro, to cut you off.
Oh no, because that gets me thinking. So you might be right about that. I mean, if you think about it, the different javelins have different types of ultimates. So
right.
Obviously, when you do the Storm, it sets you up for a combo, so you're already doing more damage to begin with there. And then as part of the natural buildup for the actual attack, you can go into your components and you can choose all of the elemental abilities that you use, boost those up, and also use an ultimate component as well to boost that up as well. And then you can use an ultimate. Like you could build up to it, but I'm not really sure what the numbers stack up to. All I know is that in the videos that I've seen, Colossus deal a fair bit of damage to basically anything they hit, but a majority of their damage definitely goes around. Colossuses are meant to be crowd control.
Yeah.
Not so much focus fire. If you want some of that, then you should probably either go Ranger or Storm. They definitely do better focus fire. And I feel like Interceptor kind of sits somewhere in between because it does a lot of damage, but you can't stick around in one place for too long. So I feel like the Interceptor is the specialist. Like they get sent in to do like the jobs that we're too busy to take on. Like we're micromanaging the big guys with the shield, and we're making sure that everything is getting done. The Interceptor can sneak in, take out some turrets, and make sure that if somebody's abusing one of us, that they get taken down. Like their job is like to run in the background, just making sure that everything's going smoothly for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and also when they're doing melee damage, they don't take damage.
Yes.
So that helps also with them. So that's why they're able to get in there and scrap. And then also, for their ultimate. But also what I was talking about, so since the patch, the ultimates do overall more damage, since the patch. Okay. But also there's going to be new ultimates, just like in Destiny. They have different types of what is it, ultras, or I don't even remember. It's been so long.
But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they'll just add another component slot like you usually already have with your abilities and your grenades and whatnot. They'll just be like, this is where your ultimates go now. And I'm sure that they'll give it to you after some sort of expansion or some sort of new stage or new phase of the game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like Broke said, the only thing I've been playing is Anthem, because I haven't been playing that much this week. Haven't got back into Metro yet. I still plan on it, but yeah, man, I'm loving the patch. I'm loving when you get down now, you can get up. If you're in a stronghold, you can get up within 30 seconds.
Yes, that is super useful.
Yeah. If you're in a mission or free play, you can get up within 10 seconds. So it definitely is, because now you don't have to. You can actually worry about keeping yourself alive to a point. And then like, okay, if he goes down and I can't get to him, he eventually he can get up. Let me just stay alive, because we've done that many a time in Destiny back in the day for Nightfalls. Because if you wipe, you still got to start over, and whatever scene or intro you started at or whatever. But yeah, we were doing that back in the Destiny days. One person hide underneath a bridge or a corner of something, and just stay alive until we all come back in. So yeah, that's how those things go. But
that takes away a lot of the despair away from the game, because I remember sitting around a few times when I wasn't running with you guys and just being like, here I am on the ground, everything looks terrible and gray.
Exactly.
There's my teammates.
You can't
involved in a fight that I'd love to be
your
in.
menu system and look at anything and all that stuff, just to and that's one thing I kind of wish they would change. I got so much going on when I have my masterwork weapons. I'm like, wait, what does this do again? Especially if it's something that's not on the screen that I can see. Like I have one scout rifle that basically throws lightning once every other shot or whatever, and I'm hitting like headshots, it'll drop a lightning bolt, on the.
Oh, is that what you were doing? That looks pretty cool. I thought you were just tearing up those lightning bolts, but that was the actual gun.
That was the gun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So there are some guns that you cannot see the effect, and you're like, okay, what does this do again? Like, how
yeah,
do
when
I
you
get that
swap,
to?
it's all you get to see in the little corner is just that little symbol. It's like that gun looks a little different than that other gun. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
kind of an
sometimes.
issue too, because like I have a shotgun, right? I got a Masterworks shotgun, and what it does, I mean, I like using it because it's pretty strong or whatever. But the problem is, its bonus kicks in when you do a dash, and it gives you like, I think it's like 20% extra damage or something after doing a dash or whatever.
Yeah.
Colossus doesn't dash anywhere, so it's like I don't get to use that benefit of the shotgun. I only get the gear score of it. And I tried pulling my shield out, running around, doing that kind of thing. And you know how it'll come up in the top left-hand corner when whatever effect is activated. Like, for instance, I have a assault rifle where it does elemental damage and stacks, or 5% elemental damage and stacks up to 20 times if you put 20 bullets into an enemy.
A very cool gun.
It'll allow you to do. Yeah, and I have that too. So I see that operating every time. And then now with my Masterworks flamethrower, when I kill an enemy, it gives me 30% fire damage, increased 30% fire damage, and that stacks 5 times. So I see all that stuff happening in my top left-hand corner, but for the shotgun, nothing, because I can't dash.
But here's the thing, Soul. This is I'd rather have the problem that Soul's having than have to funnel all the weapons for the Colossus, and then you have to re-roll another character that they don't intertwine. So that's the.
I'm just saying that's just that. I think they should do. There should be something like that can help that situation. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure that it's not out of the question.
Let me finish,
kind
guys.
Of crafting.
But hang on, let me finish. Because there are weapons that only the Colossus can actually handle that the others can't. So basically, so that shotgun is only for the Ranger or for the Interceptor or for the Storm. Yeah. So that's why that's the way it is. So that's why
that's another thing. They don't really specify that either. I mean, granted, it's common sense if you're playing the game, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Because the only way to alleviate that type of issue would be to separate all the items that you get for each character and so on and so forth or whatever. But there may be things that because again, the drops don't happen often where you get certain particular weapons. But what they can do to alleviate that issue is maybe his movement speed or whatever. There's something that's for the Colossus in that chain of Masterworks on that. So maybe that's something you can look at.
Yeah, either that or make it specific. Then you know what I mean, like for specific weapons or something like that.
Well, it would be cool if they had like the ability to bind a weapon to your specific javelin. So you go to like a special shop and you're like, all right, I want to master bind this weapon to my Colossus. No other javelin that I have can use this.
Right.
It now gains abilities specific to the Colossus based on how many embers or some special rare item that I've collected in free roam, can power up this item.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, that would be pretty tight.
And another thing we need to do, fellas, and public, you can tell us out there, is we need to separate Anthem chat, like have a freelancer chat. I know there's other, IGN has a freelancer chat, but it is what it is.
No, we're going to talk about it all day long.
But
that's what the music is for us right now. That's what's hot.
Yeah, so that's why we can contain that particular items and topics, whatever. Because I think this is a game that we're all going to be playing for a long period of time, and at least for me, for sure, or whatever, especially until Cyberpunk comes on board.
Oh, buddy! Don't say that name. It's gonna scare off all the kiddies.
It should. Kids,
that's
do not
the
play
boogeyman right there. That's
Cyberpunk.
The future boogeyman.
You have to be over 18 to play Cyberpunk. You better have some adult because it's adult content. But anyways, So let's go ahead and hit a bumper, and we'll be back.
You are listening to Ether Gamer Radio. Ether Round Table. Let's go.
So there's a lot of news in the world of gaming. Who wants to start us off?
Bro, why don't you start us off? What we were talking about before we went live?
What do you mean? We never talk about stuff before we go live. It's always live.
Oh,
no, but it's just well, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Pokemon is coming out with a new game at the end of the year. I know we talked about this in a previous episode, but I just wanted to talk about the effect that it's going to have on the Nintendo ecosystem. About the fact that this game is going to kill the 3DS more or less, even if it, the 3DS wasn't already dying, or the 2DS or 2DS XL, whatever version you want to call it. By removing what used to be the staple for all handheld games, and putting it on the Switch, which is a hybrid, it's a handheld and it's a console for your TV. They're basically going to make the handhelds obsolete. I mean, you can already get Mario Kart. You got Splatoon on there. What else are people playing that you can't really? You can play all those Zelda games on there. Like, there's nothing left for the 3DS except for maybe like the store games that you can't get. But even then, I'm pretty sure people don't care that much. So just the fact that they're saying at the end of this year, Pokemon Sword and Shield is coming out. It's going to be a core game. It is in a new world, new generation of Pokemon. It isn't a rehash or some interpretation or a different team. Like, this is a core game. So that means that it's going to matter for the rest of the other games in terms of how they build up after that. So people are going to want to get this, and they're going to, it's going to cause another Switch wave. Like, just like it did with Smash. All of the people who were holdouts on the 3DS or the DS handhelds aren't going to stick around anymore. They're going to have to save up and get their DSs, and they gave enough warning for people to start saving up now to get those at the end of the year.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Don't forget that mini Switch is coming that you don't want.
Ew! Stop saying that word.
So maybe
yeah, I mean, I definitely think they're gearing up, obviously, with the lineup that they already have, and then telling everyone, hey, we're dropping Pokemon at the end of the year. They want people to get off the DS and get over to the Switch. I mean, however you can get it, whether it's a mini Switch.
That's what I'm saying.
Switch,
that's what I'm saying. It just makes sense or whatever. But, and also though, Broke, those are collector's items. People love those mini Game Boys or Game Boys. I mean,
for sure. But I'm not speaking against the collectors. I'm talking about just in terms of future economic
mainstream
for Nintendo. Yeah, because the thing is that you can go to a secondhand store and still get the first gen DS.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Nintendo doesn't see any of that money. So that's what I'm more speaking on here, is where the money is going to go for production of games in terms of titles, because the DS doesn't already have that many games anyways. It's gotten a few pretty good ones, like the Yoshi's Woolly World got rehashed twice and it was pretty good. A few of the Kirby games have made some splashes on there. You always get a few Mario titles for the handheld as well too, and those are all worth playing. But now you can get them on the Switch. It almost feels like there's no reason.
Dude, they're only killing it off because there's a mini Switch coming. So I mean that, and it's going to have the same access to those libraries and everything else. Whatever, it's more, it's not going to be, because again, the Switch is really a console, that you can happen to, be handheld and take places and do whatever. But again, they found a lot of issues or whatever with that process, whether it's battery life, whether it's people breaking it because it's freaking made of plastic. So they might. So what I believe and what they've stated is there's going to be a one that's more solid, like that heavier Game Boy plastic. It being so light, I think it'll be in a bigger case. And I think that's what they're really gearing up for.
I guess, but I don't want to move to the idea of the better version being smaller. I don't want it to be smaller. I like the screen size as it is.
I don't think it'll be a better version because I don't think you'll be able to hook it to your TV.
Oh, yeah,
I guess. I was going to say it'll probably be something.
I think
like
it'll be totally
just like
mobile.
the half switch or something.
Yep.
Just call it the sway, or the.
No,
it'll be called like the Switch XS. Or something.
Oh, and another thing, we forgot to say our farewells to Reggie Fils-Aimé from the.
Oh man!
Come on, guys.
How do I?
Reggie, we just wanted to thank you for the work that you. No, keep singing. Reggie, you have just been around for so many years, and we just appreciate everything that you've done for us, Reggie. Good night, sweet prince. This is not the end. Okay, this is just the beginning of new dreams.
Yeah, but no, man, I loved making fun of Reggie, and he was a great guy for sure. A brother, ahead of the,
I love
president of
making
Nintendo.
fun of Reggie.
GI Joe with the kung fu grip with the fuzzy hair. We always, because Reggie he was a master of having fun and never saying anything. Like people would ask him questions and he would dodge around it so freaking good. It would be amazing. And he would still make you think he answered your question. I mean,
like sort of anime level stuff. Like he's like an anime character or something.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's too funny. But yeah, we didn't say goodbye. He's no longer with Nintendo. He's retired.
Yeah, but it's not like it was, an unamicable split or anything like that. He just saw that was the end of his road with Nintendo, and he probably just wants a break from all of that because he's been the face of like Nintendo for a while here in the United States.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. So I don't know if he was holding things back or if he was not wanting to push things forward. And I don't mean why he left. I'm talking about just in general. Like, I don't know what the new person is going to come in and do as far as they're like, oh, yeah, mini Switch, let's do it.
Can we talk about the new person's last name?
Well, hang on, bro. 1 second. Microsoft wants to partner up. Okay, let's do it or whatever. And,
Reggie it seems like there's a lot of moves happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of odd. I do find that to be interesting. But again, for them to, because now Google is getting, which we have not talked about on this show, Google is getting into the gaming console. So I don't know if Nintendo sees a writing on the wall and it says, hey, because don't forget, Nintendo was supposed to pair up with Sony. And for their CD-ROM system and that whole thing or whatever, then Sony went ahead and released it to the public, and Nintendo was pissed, and they're like, okay, we'll do our own thing. And so that's how that whole breakup happened. So I don't know if Nintendo's like, you know what, we do have the kit market pretty much locked down. Microsoft is struggling a little. Why don't we, it'd be a great thing to merge with them or whatever on certain aspects.
Hey, do you, I have a question. Do you think, just going off of this, since this is roundtable, I'm just curious, this is definitely far-fetched. I just want to get your guys' opinions on it.
Yeah.
Do you think that, let's say the partnership between Nintendo and Xbox works out beautifully, right? Everything's good and they want to push it a little further and they start saying, all right, we're going to release games on the Xbox. You think that's a possibility? Like, okay, they're going to work together, maybe put out a adult Zelda or something like that.
Okay, no. See, releasing titles on it is one thing opposed to making titles for it. You said two different things there.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Because
totally separate things.
Yeah, I do think that Nintendo's like, let's let this thing happen. And again, we still don't know, but we pretty much know. But we'll see at E3. Yeah. We'll see at Gamescom. Was it Gamescom or GDC? I'm not sure which one that making the announcement.
GDC is probably going to be the first one that's going to get a big wave of information from them.
Yeah. So what we do know is you're going to possibly have access to Microsoft's games. And we will see. I think Nintendo's going to do a wait and see thing. And if it works out well, I think you will see Nintendo games popping up on Microsoft's console. That's what I see. But as far as an adult Zelda title, and they're actually making games specifically for Microsoft or for the adult market, meaning, not kids, and letting other developers actually take on Zelda or their characters, I don't see that happening. Bro.
American dream.
Well, the only thing that comes to mind about all of this is that, just backing it up to what you said about Google, Google has fun in the way that libraries are fun. It's like good, clean, fun, but it's kind of dry. And I feel like if they got into the making a gaming system kind of situation, it would be like educational gaming or something. Like, I don't know like what Google is going to do with all that power, because they have like a weird brand to uphold. They're like the parallel version of Nintendo in a different universe or something. They're like, super powerful, super clean, but like their fun is almost like weirdly wholesome, but not silly. Like Google doesn't do silly.
Well, I still think they'll take on the third party titles. I can't even imagine what games would come from Google themselves. I mean,
that's how I'm seeing it. I'm like, Google developers, what are you putting to? Yeah, like some sort of weird learning games, like games that you play when you go to school in the library or something.
Yeah, but one thing about Google is they're like Apple. They have money. So
that's true. They can throw as much money as they want at the rock stars and just put their name on it, and they'll get a good game. But
this won't be a Soldier Boy console if it actually happens.
Oh,
well, we know it ain't happening for Soldier Boy.
Exactly. Crank that. But anyways.
Dang.
Yeah, but as for the whole games on other consoles thing, I feel like Nintendo has tried to maintain like its weird video game purity for so long that for them to take on games from other companies or developers would be like a weird betrayal to the holdouts. Doesn't mean that I don't want it to happen, but it just like I'm wondering how it would affect the flavor of the mix. Like Nintendo has such a weirdly specific style that by letting other people kind of step in on their style, it might just kind of cause waves and affect things in a weird way.
Yeah, I really don't see that. I more see them putting Mario on the Xbox or something like that in an app form or some type of form, like just like what they're allowing Microsoft to do. Again, if it happens, but I definitely don't see them letting Microsoft's publishers make their versions of games. That would be something. That would be like the Bizarro World.
Yeah. Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm glad that's going to happen. See an adult Link. I think the oldest adult Link you're going to see is in the past game and whatever new title they're going to actually happen. But it would behoove them to get help with making their titles. Whatever they may come out a little bit faster. That's one thing.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
Well, look, we all want Nintendo to do the things that the developers that we mostly get the AAA titles from are doing. It would be badass to see some stuff like that coming out from Nintendo, like some serious gritty stuff. But that's not their flavor. I want to bring that back up again. That if that happens, it might ruin the weird special magic. It's kind of like Disney. It might ruin that weird magic.
But broke. Don't forget, one, the change that just happened, and two, that's what they were doing when they were merging with Nintendo to begin with. So don't forget about that. For that console. They were going both. They were allowing both things to happen. Their fun, kid games or just fun platforming games, and then those adult titles that, they're, trying to get the full realm of the market opposed to just, the nostalgia market along with the kid market.
Yeah, but I feel like anybody who chose to pick those games up for the actual, I guess it would be Wii when it first started or whatever system you want to talk about, whoever chose to do that, it just didn't really work out great for them because they weren't the best in class in the system. That was the people who picked those up were the ones who didn't have access to any other consoles. Mm-hmm. So I guess, that's kind of an elitist thought there since like I have access to all of them. Yeah. But if you want to play games and have a full effect on somebody, you're going to want to play them where they play best. Obviously, there are some caps, like whenever I watch the Anthem Twitter. You might want to
pause some of that thought only because when you have that switch and you're on your break or you're out, in the wild and you can sit there playing Xbox titles through that app, you might change your tune, homie. So you might want to pump your brakes on that.
That's if you're talking about like some cloud streaming stuff because the system will catch on fire if you try to run them on there. But even then, that's still, that's a future that we haven't achieved yet. It's close, but it's not perfect.
You've been touting that
on the PC. Don't tell me that the PC and the Switch are the same thing, man. It's a completely different situation.
Broke. It has nothing to do with the Switch. It has to do whether it's on your phone, whether it's on an iPad, whether it's whatever. This is what Microsoft
but I feel
is
like
saying.
Everybody keeps saying that they've
so
achieved it.
You don't think it's going to happen? You don't think it's going to work? You don't think it's going to work?
No, I think it's going to work, but I don't think it's going to work as quickly as they say it's going to. Like if they announce it and they release it like at the end of the year or something, it's not ready. I haven't seen it yet.
Now I got to only because he said the app, the iOS PlayStation app was released. Soul thought it was something other than what he thought it was, and he was hyped about it.
It was fun.
I talked to somebody about that as well too. They said that they'd been doing it for a while, and it's cool because you can use the controller.
It for years. I did it on my
fantastic.
Mac, and it's not fantastic. But
it's just a mirroring process. It is not a cloud service process.
No, for sure. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when that app is released, for Microsoft. Everybody and their mama, just like when Soul downloaded or saw that app, will be putting it on their devices. And now, whether or not it works, I can't tell you that. I'm not a proponent of. I'm a proponent of CDs, of disc, of put it in your console, play it, whatever, and keep it moving. I'm not a proponent of the cloud gaming and all that crap or whatever. Period. But what I'm telling you is, Microsoft is pushing that this year. That app will be out this year, and supposedly it's going to be okay. Forget about being on a Switch. It's going to be on your phone. This is what Microsoft said out of their mouth. It's going to be on your iPad, your Google Pad. It's going to be on your TV if possible. It's going to be everywhere, and they're pushing it. They say it's that it works. Whatever, they've been testing it for years, if not a decade. And they say it's good to go because this same technology was supposed to be used on the Xbox One. But the only thing about it is you had to be connected to the internet, and people weren't down for that. And that's what set off that whole storm. And again, I am definitely not seeing it from Crackdown 3. So I will grant you that. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that the one thing that they could have used as an example for the power of the cloud isn't even panning out.
Exactly.
To be fair, I have talked to a few people about it, and there's some people who didn't have high expectations for it anyways and are having fun with it. So,
it's a fun game. I'm having fun with it. I'm not having fun with the multiplayer portion of it. And did you guys notice how they separated both of those titles? The multiplayer is its own game. Mm-hmm. Single player is its own game. On download, I don't understand that.
I wonder if they had like two separate teams working on it simultaneously or something.
That could be true.
It could have been that like together they were like, this doesn't work. It keeps crashing whenever we have two people on a single player game.
Because I do feel it's two different games. I feel that the single player title is a CD based, put it in your console. That's that title. I think the multiplayer is all the cloud stuff. I don't even think it's even working. I think it's working totally different. And that's why it's separate, and that's why it was two different downloads.
Well, speaking of Crackdown, just want to give the people some news out there. Crackdown 2 is now backwards compatible for the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S and the Xbox One, and it is also free on the store right now.
So they just want to rehype people up for it by giving them the old title that they liked.
No,
exactly.
Actually, no. Crackdown 1 has been available. Crackdown 2 is terrible. Crackdown 2 was the
Crackdown 2 wasn't too bad. I had fun with it.
Like it. I didn't like it. I liked Crackdown 1 better. Crackdown 1 was better. It did better and everything else. Crackdown 2, you were like, is there going to be a Crackdown 3? I mean, that's okay. Let's get into electronic arts. Bro.
Yes.
You want to head this up?
Yeah. So this came up earlier this week. It feels like most developer companies at the top are beginning to see that EA is not the place for them to have their press conferences.
He meant E3.
E3. Yeah. So as far as we've seen, Sony no longer has an interest in having a press conference there. Nintendo gave that up a while back. And just this week, EA announced that they will be having their own press conference. I don't know what it's going to be called, but they said that they're going to be focusing more on streaming.
It's called the EA Play event.
Yeah, so they'll be doing that, and it just seems like everybody sees the power and the reach of having a press conference through stream that they can control themselves, as opposed to having it inside of a building in a location that they have to follow all these rules and do all this stuff that just has nothing to do with their teams. So they'll still be at the actual EA floor. They'll show their games off and stuff, but the big event, the one that you see, the one that you watch on YouTube or through whatever website you like to watch it through, you'll be catching that at a different location in a different way, according to them.
Yeah, it's going to be a three-day event. It kicks off Friday, June the 7th. And they're going for a whole new style of presentation. So this might be something. And again, the whole thing about this type of event, they can control their message more. They're not beholden to going up against other places, other competition or whatever with other gaming companies or, event organizers and all that when they put their information out, how it's leaked or whatever and all that good stuff. So it remains to be seen if this is something that's only being done this year because Sony, was the big fish that was like, I'm out. So let's see if Sony comes back in 2020 to shop their wares or because again, they haven't even announced when they're going to do their event, which should happen this year. because again, they still got to sell products one way or the other, be it games or be it the new console. So it is going to be interesting, and this just opens the door for Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft should have their best show at E3. I mean, there is no competition, straight up. So, unless Google shows up with their new console.
Or Steam, but have you noticed that like the era of Steam is kind of over right now?
Oh, dude, Steam Machine died on arrival. It was
no, not even Steam Machine, okay. Just Steam as a company. It seems like they've just been like slowly losing ground. More websites are letting you buy games without using their client for cheaper. Epic has their own thing. Blizzard is on their own. Like it just seems like Steam is slowly being pulled apart.
Metro.
And like the Gabe Newell got so tired of being famous that now he's just like a curmudgeon hermit that doesn't show up to anything anymore.
What he needs to do is put out Half-Life 3 and quit tripping. He needs to freaking go back to making some games.
Like that's what it is. Stop trying to innovate the show floor. Just worry about what's on it. That's what you guys were good at.
Yep. So so that event is happening or whatever. And again, I think it's going to be something big. What games or titles do you guys think besides FIFA? Everybody knows FIFA's going to be there. Probably 3 different versions of it. FIFA Lego.
And yep. There's also going to be all of the sports ball titles. You got yourself your footballs, you got your baseballs, you got your basketballs.
Oh.
Man, I hope they do something new with Madden. I mean, come on. You can't keep rehashing the same game, making a couple of tweaks.
New with Madden.
But that's the thing is that I've noticed that the people who are into those games, it isn't about like new innovations. Like, they aren't, your regular type of gamer that likes the story or the grind or cool stuff like that. They're just like, yeah, I got my team. I'm just going to play. I'm going to get good. I'm going to beat you. And then, I'll wait for the next one because I beat you with this year's team. Like, I feel like that's the hype around those games.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's true. True. And if they do the same Madden crap, even with FIFA, all their sports titles, dude, do a subscription or something. Stop re-releasing games. Do an update. Do a patch.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool. Kind of like rosters or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And then like it could turn the whole like I'm not even into sports, but I'm getting excited about the like the ecology of something like this, where it creates a world where it keeps up with real time events and it updates itself. As players like, oh, this week this player's injured,
exactly.
So you can't use them inside of your game.
Yep. And then every 4 years, come out with a new the new operating system. I mean, as far as the new technology of what you're using, whether you're using I don't even what do they use? They're using
what are you talking about? The Frostbite engine?
Yeah, the Frost. Do they use Frostbite for their game?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like so. The reiterations of a 3-year cycle of Frostbite, then you can drop that actual new title opposed to the reiterations of the patches or whatever. Do something like that. That way you can give people a little break or whatever. Make it like $20. Some type of subscription. A yearly service instead of just gouging people $60 every year.
Then you go down the MMO path where you have time to build, like a long legacy of good games that are constantly getting better. And then, there could be like graphical updates, or there could be like changes to your teams, like how good they look or what they do or their stats or like, updating everything is just, right now it seems like it's very stale and refresh and stale and refresh. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's fun for some, people who are into that, but definitely from more of like a gaming aspect, you can see the how they're grinding you for your coins there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking other than the sports, because I don't want to talk too much about sports games. It's just going to be the same old. They're not going to
right.
Oh, you can hope.
Yeah, you can hope. Yeah, just like I can hope they're going to put a Zelda on the Xbox with the Unreal Engine. That'd be tight. But anyway.
Yeah, because we've all seen the first
amazing.
level recreated. There's a bunch of people who will take the time to code, games into Unreal Engine to see what they look like. And yeah, Zelda would look amazing, just even if they just did like Ocarina of Time or something.
Yeah, just give me Ocarina of Time.
Because that seems to be like the standard for most people.
That'd be beautiful. Anyway, but yeah, I want to talk about other games that are going to be there. I'm definitely thinking we're going to see a little bit of something, maybe just a story trailer or something of the new Star Wars game.
Yes.
There for sure. And I also think we'll see like a snippet of something.
We better see more than a story trailer if it's coming out this year.
I think they'll save that big reveal for. Oh well,
they're not gonna be at E3, homie. This is their event.
No, that is the big reveal.
Let me finish. Gosh, let me finish. Well. Man, they'll save the big reveal for the Microsoft press conference. That's what I think.
Really, they're gonna do like a rebuttal. No, they're gonna be like
they're gonna re-reveal.
Yep, exactly.
No, they'll do what they always do. They'll re-reveal or show a little bit more, or because I think it's gonna be playable at the EA Play event. I mean, this is their big event to make a splash.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's their big event to make a splash. That's why I think they'll show something of it. But I think even on a grander scale, because more eyes will probably be on the Microsoft conference than the EA whatever thing event that they're doing, just because they're the only major player there at E3. I think they're going to take advantage of that big stage and show you all the goodies, all the bits, just like they did with Anthem. They showed you a little bit of Anthem, and they're like, all right, watch the rest at E3, Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. And then, boom, they showed the big reveal there.
Okay, so fair enough. But that was like the story reveal that they really did.
Hey, I'm just telling you what you need to know.
Well, I think they're trying to step in the tracks of Ubisoft, EA, with all their titles and the way they do their events and pressers, and I don't think they'll be able to pull it off without showing something really big and without wowing everybody before E3. If they don't just shake the ground, I don't think they'll be able to pull it off, and I think they'll be back at E3 next year. Me personally.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I don't know.
We shall see. What else do you have?
But I think their big thing that they could show, that'll kind of, I guess, be the WoW thing. Would be like a new Dragon Age or something.
Yes, but I mean, you think that BioWare has time to work on a Dragon Age right now?
Yeah, no, they got a Dragon Anthem.
That's true. I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
They're just gonna be like, we're gonna put some Dragon Age stuff in Anthem. Please come play some more. Because
that's funny.
Like the hardcore players are having a real hard time sticking around. From what I've seen in the chat, like there's just anger, a lot of anger after this patch. Which I mean, I'm like, why? The game's better, but it's because they did that thing that they always do, where when they put an update down, the drop rate goes up significantly for like a few hours, and then it's like, oops, that was a mistake.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I don't know how that's going to go, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a different E3. I mean, and again, I don't know if all this is happening because of the fans are now able to go to E3. It's been this will be the second year that they allowed it, basically like what they do in Japan. For their games event, they allow the public to have access. What's that?
I'm a Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, they allow the public to have access, and I don't think developers are liking it too much.
That's not just developers, but press as well
Media,
too. Yeah, it's the people who were getting in there, getting that good information, forming good opinions.
Funny, I got to be honest about this. Out of all the major gaming journalists, and as far as companies, IGN, GameSpot, even Giant Bomb, all those people, they don't complain as much as the podcasters and
for sure,
and the so-called YouTube elite that are the
snobs.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're the ones. Oh, now the general public gets to get in. Like,
well, that's because to them.
Did you go to school to be a journalist? I mean, come on, man. You just lucked up on a situation.
I can provide a counterpoint. Look, check it out. Most people can show up now to E3, but you know what the grind is like to set yourself up to be doing this consistently for a while, to have to buy the equipment. Even if it's considered an amateur passion for some, like it's still something that you put a lot of your time into, and then the payoff was you had made enough of an impact with your, quote unquote amateur work to be able to show up to something that was only for elites like that. That's kind of a big payoff. And then for them to just kind of pull that out from under you, it sucks. But
but that shouldn't change you though.
Yeah,
it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Because the thing is that it should just make you want to work hard, but it just shows what the difference is between being, boots on the ground versus having a giant company pushing you towards, whatever company has information that you can get. Because it's some places are lock and key. You will be sent to specific hotel rooms where they will show you things that they don't show on the floor, and that's for very specific people.
And the people that do these podcasts and so on and so forth, they still get that treatment that the general public doesn't get. So I don't.
Yeah, they are seeing stuff behind closed doors. They have meetings or whatever at all these locations. Whatever their complaint is, they can't get to and from the location. Because
if that's their complaint, then they just got to suck it up because like they're still getting pushed ahead past the regular people that still paid to be there. They weren't asked, they weren't invited. They didn't get a press pass. They threw money, which is it's propelling the actual convention itself with that money. That's probably what they did. That they needed a new influx of resources because companies weren't paying enough for booth space or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So, it's a balance between like what they can give and what they need.
And also, we're not talking about $30. We're not talking about free. We're talking about $150 to start with. If you get in within 2 weeks, whatever, after that or whatever, it's $200. So these people are paying a heavy price. And I've been to 3 different E3 events, whatever, loved every one of them. Some I did have not real meetings, but fake meetings because, again, I was in there as press when there was nothing going on. Actually, no, a store. I owned a store. Anyways, so I went to E3s, had great times, and it was amazing. And I would never, trip on the public or anybody else, coming or being at that event because there's a lot of people who actually go, and trust me, they're not there because they a journalist or they own a store. So so I think it should be open to the public, and it's a shame that these events are going to change or eventually E3 is going to go away. But just like the PlayStation event where it is geared toward the public, I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah.
Well, my final thoughts on that is I listened to a podcast where they talked about the history of E3, and this isn't the first dip that they've seen in attendance by companies. They had their crazy party years, and after a while, that caused them to lose a lot of face with a lot of those companies because they like the all of the booth babes and the crazy alcohol parties and the stuff that they had away from like in the hotels and stuff. There's a lot of talk about how E3 turned into just this crazy festival party scene instead of it being about video games and about like other stuff. So if they need to just pivot to keep going and still be important in the future, then that's what they're going to do. But if not, then the system exists through the internet now for that not to be a necessity. It just sucks because the gathering is an important part as well too. The social aspect of seeing other people who are just as, if not more passionate of video games showing up and talking about the future and being excited and building up buzz for things. Like there's a splash effect. Even some of like the smaller developers get a lot of love because they get invited to show up to these things where people do want to see the big titles and the big companies, but somebody wanders over to a booth. Maybe there's less people in an area and they just need to kind of get away from them. And they happen to see some guy who's coming up with a game that, he's built with, it's maybe him and a few other people. And, that gets some buzz. Somebody puts it on their website. Somebody puts it on their blog or their video channel on YouTube or their podcast, like what we do, so some of that will be going away.
Yeah, for
sure.
But
there's other places where that can happen. It's just that's the ecosystem that I see falling apart if EA isn't around.
Oh yeah,
or E3.
Even for things that were televised, whatever that Sony did, the Microsoft did, people would go to theaters and actually get together and watch it.
That was pretty cool
stuff. So yeah, totally get that. But what else do we have on tap, guys? Because I want to get into a big division situation.
Oh,
so let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's actually about it for me. I mainly just want to talk about Pokemon and EA.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have something, but
go ahead,
okay. Well, I wanted to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. And I wanted to talk about its online
I'm still
presence.
salty about Red Dead.
Yeah. I've been looking around, seeing a lot of stuff where people are they're not playing online. They're like, I'm tired of it,
Yeah.
Do you guys think that is based on all of these MMOs that are coming out as far as like Apex killing the game, so on and so forth? Or do you think it's literally because the game is just not super fun to play online?
Okay, for one, you're only talking to one person.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a walk. I'll be back later, all right?
Because, Broke has not even
it's not like
touched or...
the articles or anything
No.
like that. I mean...
Yeah, that
And-
No,
was,
I
the
haven't.
present-
I have my opinions
that was
about
a joke,
what could be
so-
causing stuff in the
Yeah.
outside meta, but you
Yeah.
guys have actually played it, so I'm gonna defer to you guys unless you want to hear from me and
Well,
my crazy
no,
thoughts.
let me say something about it, and then you can go ahead, Broke. Let me tell you about the big pimping. I haven't played Red Dead in months. As soon
Yeah.
as the HDR issue, and they said they were going to patch it, I stopped playing. And again, because I want to play it in all its glory, I don't want to have to rerun through it, on their timeline. I want to do it on my timeline. So, if they never said there was a patch coming out, I would have continued and played it the way I was playing it instead of switching my console back and forth between the two different HDRs, meaning to turning it off or whatever to play it in the standard mode or whatever, just so the game, the color saturation is correct. I played the online, did not like it whatsoever. They stripped and took away things that you're able to do and things that they allow in GTA that they don't allow or do in Red Dead Redemption in the online beta, which was crazy as far as having being able to actually go in passive mode without somebody just killing you from whatever you're walking through town or whatever. Next thing you know, that there's a sniper on a ridge someplace, whatever, and just shoot you. Like, okay, why? And then that constantly keeps happening. Stuff like that. Quality of life things that they should have put into the online portion. You have people outside of your camp just circling or whatever. Just step outside or whatever so we can talk, big pimpin' or whatever, to kill you. I mean, it's the most craziest thing. That the whole bullying in a game, they actually made it to where it actually works in your benefit to do that. I mean, which is weird. I mean, it's like the most common sense things when it comes to what people don't want in online games. They actually did all the opposite on this online game portion of it. That's my thoughts about it.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, man, that is so interesting. That game just pretty much fell off. I was like,
yeah, because it's hard to play. You have to have a group in playing the online portion. If not, you're going to be killed before you even walk down the street multiple times. And it's kind of ridiculous because the only time you can go passive is in your own camp. That makes no sense. So until they fix that, and again, you could do that in GTA. You want to play GTA 5, whatever, and just tool around the city or whatever and enjoy the commentary between the characters or whatever else. You can do that, but you can't do that in the online portion unless they changed it. Have you played it recently?
No, I haven't. Nope. I was just interested in how it just fell off. I was just like, man, it's crazy. I wonder what you guys thought.
Yeah, and again, this still is a beta, but I mean, come on. It's like, guess what they just updated? Grand Theft Auto 5 online. They added new, like a slot car, they look like Hot Wheels and all kind of other stuff, whatever, to it. Because people are still paying and playing that game and making money hand over fist. And they have not gravitated towards their online portion of Red Dead because of all the things they didn't put into it. So it's weird.
Yeah. That is crazy. But anyway, we can get into the Division.
Okay, so on the Division, Ubisoft is releasing a big patch alongside the Division 2 that includes various bug fixes and improvements for the main game. On Xbox One and PC, the update will weigh in at 48 to 52 gigabytes, depending on your region or preferred language, while the PS4 patch will weigh in at 88 to 92 gigabytes. Now, again, this is a day one patch. That is humongous. On top of that, Ubisoft is rolling out a title update 1.5 beginning March 11th. This patch is mandatory, but is much smaller, weighing in at around 2 gigabytes, depending on your platform or your region. Ubisoft says this update addresses occurrences of audio dropping out and just totally missing in the open beta, so that because that's the problem that I was having, that everybody was having supposedly in Anthem. But the same problems that's been going on in Anthem and their beta and all that have definitely, if not been worse, in the Division. And it's funny how, again, nobody has been. I haven't seen YouTube. I haven't seen the Layman's brothers talking about it. I haven't seen nobody talking about it. But what I have seen, the Division 2 is so spectacular and great, which it will be. But check this out also. The Division 2 officially launches on March 15th, but some players will have a chance to play the title early. For those who pre-ordered the gold or ultimate editions will get a dive into the title beginning March the 12th. The game will also go live at different times depending on your region. Now, why is that? So you're telling me if you buy the game, if you buy a particular version, the ultimate and the gold, you get access earlier, which you get a jump on getting your character leveled and all that good stuff. And it's not because you have a service that allows you to play titles or whatever earlier, because again, it's a service that you pay into. No. This is about the titles that you buy. But again, people aren't up in arms on why this game is split into two. And again, the day one patch, these big old giant patches, again, on the Xbox, 48 to 52 gigabytes. On the PS4, 88 to 92 gigabytes. 92 gigabytes for a patch. That's like 2 games.
I was going to say, that's no patch. That's a new game.
Exactly. That is crazy. But again, people aren't tripping. Okay. I explain that to me. That makes no sense.
It's like there's a conspiracy theory going on.
I'm telling you guys, and again, this is not their first title. This is their second title. Title. They have staggered launches. It's not like they have a service with Ubisoft or whatever. Oh, we automatically allow you to play any Ubisoft title, 3 days early and blah, 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 blah. And then not only are we going to release early, we're not going to have a day one patch for those people who are playing it. So they're going to play a broken game.
For 3 days.
Yeah. And then, but once the game actually comes out, we'll give you this big old mama patch that's going to give you have to take 2 days to download it.
I wonder what the initial
that might use everybody's bandwidth, because you still gotta, and mind you still gotta download the game from the disc to your hard drive.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I wonder what that initial download is. I bet you that's probably like 40 gigabytes in itself.
That's what I'm saying.
You're like downloading 120 gigabytes on the PlayStation.
I remember the good old times when you used to be able to pop a game right into your console, and there you go. You would play it. There was like when I got the Xbox One X, and I remember buying a stack of games as well, and then just being like, okay, part of my day today is going to be inserting and shooting out discs all day while they update. That's great, I guess.
Yep. Anyway, so we'll see how the Division launches this week as it comes out. That's going to be very interesting, and I'm going to be there because I have the game. I'm getting the regular version, so I won't be able to play it until the 15th, but I will be there to report on it to let you know. And I didn't really want to get this game. Like Brooke said, there's multiple games coming out this month or whatever, and I definitely wanted to have a situation to where they want to say, well, Priest, you didn't give the Division a chance, whatever, and you talked about how amazing Anthem was, whatever, in the Division. Everybody's talking about it. I'm going to be in that game. I'm going to play it. I will let you know my thoughts or whatever about it. And again, I'm not getting it just because I do like the Division 1. I played the Division 1, so on and so forth. So we shall see.
Ew, you're going to play that game?
I'm going to play that game. Soul might be on it.
Nah, I'm not going to be on it.
We shall see.
That for sure.
We shall see how things happen. All right. Well, this is Ether Gamer Radio. You guys ready to call it?
Yep.
All right. We are out. Peace.
Thanks for listening. For more information on the show, go to our website, ethergamerradio.com. You can always catch us on our Facebook fan page. You can hit us up on Twitter or our hosting site, Podbean. Hit us up on iTunes and drop us a review. It helps get the word out to other gamers, so spread the love. As always, we would love to hear from you. Hit us up on Ether Gamer Radio hotline, 916-877-5745. Until next time, stay gaming. Ether.